On September 27, 1940, Japan entered World War II. In 1941, Allied forces began to reinforce the so-called Malayan Barrier, the 3,500-mile-long mountain range extending down the Malay Peninsula, then eastward into the Pacific to the islands of the East Indies, New Guinea, and the Solomons, to form a defensive line against Japanese expansion. This is a story about three bird groups that stood against Japan. Sparrow Force, as the Allied presence on Timor was known, landed on the Timor 5 days after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. This was part of a strategy of seeking to defend forward airfields, and also involved deploying Lark Force at Rabaul and Gull Force at Ambon.
Suppressing fire! Cover me! I'm reloading!
The ANZAC Lark Force at Rabaul consisted of 1,500 men.
敵を倒した!
5,000 Japanese soldiers made a stealthy amphibious landing upon various beaches around the island and suddenly attacked the defenders. Within one day, Rabaul was captured. The Australians lost 30 killed and 1,000 captured. The rest managed to evacuate to a neighboring island. Of the 1,000 captured soldiers, 160 were shot in cold blood. Japan Army lost 16 killed and 50 wounded. Rabaul was significant because of its proximity to the Japanese territory of the Caroline Islands, site of a major Imperial Japanese Navy base on Truk. Following the capture of the port of Rabaul, Japanese forces turned it into a major base and proceeded to land on mainland New Guinea, advancing towards Port Moresby. In an attempt to protect key strategic sites near Australia, ANZAC Special Forces Seagulls, Sparrows and Larks took control of 3 points, Rabaul, Ambon, and Timor. On January 23, 1942, the Japanese suddenly attacked Rabaul and captured it within a day. The ANZAC forces failed to put up any serious resistance. The ANZAC commander on Ambon realized that they could be the next target for the Japanese army. On Ambon, the combined forces of ANZAC and the Netherlands amounted to nearly 4,000 men. Defense Commander Lieutenant Colonel Leonard Roach sent reports several times that the defense forces were not ready to repel a full-scale invasion. In particular, Roach stated that the ANZAC soldiers had no field guns and no anti-tank weapons. He managed to make several reports before the Australian Central Command drew conclusions. They removed him and appointed a new commander who did not ask too many questions. Roach was relieved of command and was replaced by Lieutenant Colonel John Scott. On January 30, 1942, 5,000 Japanese soldiers landed on Ambon.
Run! Find some bloody cover! Open fire! Suppressing fire!
Despite the lack of weapons, the combined forces of the Dutch and Australians held the line for almost 4 days. In terms of the number of people, the attackers did not greatly outnumber the defenders, 5,000 Japanese soldiers against 4,000 Allies, but the Japanese had a great advantage in firepower. As a result, the defense of the island collapsed. The Japanese lost about 100 killed, while the defenders lost almost 350 soldiers. However, the Japanese were still furious that they had such serious resistance, and out of 3,000 prisoners, every 10th was executed. 300 prisoners were killed with bayonets. After the fall of Ambon, the Japanese received a convenient airfield for the bombing of Australia itself. Also next in line was Timor, which was defended by the last bird group, sparrows. In January 1942, the Allied forces on Timor became a key link in the so-called Malay Barrier. There were about 3,000 Allied soldiers from Netherlands, USA, Australia, UK and Portugal. Rabaul fell to the Japanese on 23rd of January, followed by Ambon on 3rd of February, and both Gulf Force and Lark Force were destroyed. So 3,000 soldiers on Timor wasn't enough to defend the island, and additional Australian-American force was scheduled to arrive in February. An Allied convoy, carrying reinforcements and supplies, came under intense Japanese air attack and was forced to return to Darwin without landing. On the night of 19 February, 1,500 troops from the Imperial Japanese Army began its landing. The Japanese ships were mistaken for vessels carrying the foreseen reinforcements, and the Allies were caught by surprise.
Hey, what are you doing here? Your bloody post is over there. Why the hell did you leave?
Sir, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but there's a bloody crocodile.
What? Crocodile?
Yes, sir.
And you left your post because of the bloody crocodile?
Yes, sir.
Are you adopted?
No, sir.
So you're a real Australian, right?
Yes, sir.
So, take your square ass, go to your bloody post and prove that you're a real Australian.
Alrighty then.
Stop! What are you doing?
I want to grab a rifle and shoot the bugger.
No, you're definitely adopted. Kill him with a knife, so that all crocodiles know you and fear you.
Alrighty then.
Come on, Dundee. You can defeat the crocodile.
Yes, sir.
Great job, Dundee. You are a true Australian. Now, go to your post and sit there.
Yes, sir.
I actually thought he was joking about the crocodile. I thought he just didn't want to sit there at his post. We're under attack! Grab your weapons!
troops!
Alright, that's enough. I'm out of here.
Where is the Japs?
Definitely over there. Ron, let's get out of here.
Tank! They have a bloody tank! Retreat! Let's go!
Sir, HQ says the evacuation ships are ready. We can be taken to Australia. They ask to tell the coordinates from where to pick us up.
Say that there'll be no evacuation. We won't run away. The first battle was left to the Japanese, but we'll see. We stay here and go into the jungle. Let's wage a guerrilla war.
Run! Run!
Sparrow Force, a commando unit, under Major Alexander Spence declined an offer to evacuate. Special forces were trained to wage a war behind the enemy lines and they decided to stay in the jungles of Timor and fight. They didn't have heavy weapons but they caused a lot of damage to the Japanese forces. The island was captured within several weeks and after that Japan planned to attack Australia, but Sparrow Force paralyzed enemy forces for almost a year. Australians killed thousands of Japanese soldiers with ambushes and raids. If you want to see part 4, support this video with share and like.
The Malayan Barrier was the key to the line of defense against Imperial Japan. But all the islands, Rabaul, Ambon and Timor, were unable to resist for long and were captured by the Japanese. However, the Japanese were unlucky with the island of Timor. Despite the fact that they were able to defeat the main forces of the Allies, they were unable to encircle and destroy the Sparrow detachment of the ANZAC army. The second independent company was specially trained for commando style. They refused to evacuate and began a guerrilla war. The locals provided enormous assistance to the Australian commandos. They gave the guerrillas food, sheltered them in their homes, showed them the way, told them about the movement of Japanese forces. Sometimes the locals even participated in armed attacks on Japanese units together with the Sparrow commandos. What do you have there?
This is the breach we were looking for. So far I see 3 Japs.
Andy, take the right flank. Wait for the guards to be distracted. What's there?
It looks like the Japs are robbing a villager.
Dundee, you need to distract the guards somehow. Do it nicely, Aussie style.
Easy. I have an idea.
Iba,
主食の時間だよ。なんてこら。
おい、何か見えたぞ。
発砲はやめろ。奴は言ってしまった。気をつけろ。茂みの裏に危険が潜んでいるかもしれない。さでよ、マサール、どこにいるの？何やの子供をじみた遊びだ？なんだよ？なんてこら。
And the hole.
Seriously? Hendaho? He's Japanese. He doesn't speak German.
I don't care. It's the only word I know. And the hole. Do you want to smoke?
私は負けを認めなければなりません。しかし、日本軍将校として問われるわけにはいきません。私には私のやり方があります。
What's he saying? Whoa.
Hey, Colonel. How about dressing up as a crocodile and kidnapping a Japanese soldier?
Dundee, sometimes you just scare me.
What to do with the prisoner? Seems to be in shock.
To be honest, I'm in shock too. From you and from your crocodile, and from the face of that Japanese guy.
Ah, bloody hell! What happened with him?
Smoking kills. Do you see how harmful cigarettes are?
Really?
No, he died like a real samurai. He didn't want to surrender. So, fellas, our first objective's accomplished. We've captured the bridge. Now we need to mine it. Remove the bodies, clean up, tie up and hide the prisoner. John, you go ahead and watch the road. Give our signal when the Japanese are coming. Everyone prepare the ambush as planned. Dundee, I beg you, take that bloody crocodile off your head.
Explosives are set! Charges set to blow!
Dundee, come on, stop fooling around. No time for your jokes.
I'm right here, mate.
You're here? And who's there?
I think that's a bloody crocodile.
Marty, looks like you're gonna have an Australian test right now.
So, それであなたは交換兵でここに来て1ヶ月になるのか？ガスマスクを作っててると少ないのか？まあ、名前はハンスだね。名字がオーロだったら素敵ですね。考えてみてよ。ハンス・オーロ。
Japs are coming. Take cover. Dundee! You must blow up the bridge!
Bloody hell, this thing don't work.
No good. Do we have a plan B?
Grenades! Fire! Oh shit. That's not good at all. It'll kill us all!
Final test for a real Australian, eh?
Lieutenant Colonel Spencer's commandos made life very difficult for the Japanese. They constantly set up ambushes, blew up bridges, and attacked convoys. However, the Japanese began to punish the locals very harshly, and they stopped helping the ANZAC forces in fear. The commandos lost the support of the population, and it became more difficult for them to stay on the island. In addition, the Japanese forces increased significantly to 12,000 soldiers. In February 1943, the remnants of the Allied forces left Timor. At this stage of the fighting, 40 Australian commandos were killed, and the number of Japanese killed is believed to have been 1,500 people.
Aussie style.